back with part 5 of Perfume and Poison, and today we're going to talk about one of the most famous fragrances of all time, Poison by Dior. Now this perfume came out in 1985, the same year that I was born, and it's actually the first perfume that I can remember because all the women in my life had it. And with its slightly menacing name, dark colors, heavily made up model, it's easy to see why. So how did Poison become so ubiquitous in the 80s and 90s? It was really no accident. This perfume was focus grouped within an inch of its life. You see, between the launch of Miss Dior in 1947 and the launch of Poison in 1985, Dior had actually only released 5 perfumes. It was number 20 in the American cosmetics market, and they wanted to get up into that top spot. In 1977, Yves Saint Laurent released Opium. It was both massively popular and controversial. Its name alluded to drugs, and it was decried as racist by Asian American communities, particularly Chinese Americans. Interestingly, Yves Saint Laurent actually got his start with Christian Dior and was handpicked to be his successor when Christian Dior died suddenly. The Dior execs saw all the hoopla and the dollars surrounding Opium and thought that a darkly seductive scent with a controversial name was what they needed to score a perfume hit. The name Poison was decided on even before they had their scent, and they scooped up the name in 1983. Millions was spent on research and development, not just of the perfume, but of the bottle. More than 800 fragrances were created and tested in the pursuit of the formula that would ultimately fill the amethyst bottles that were designed specifically to look like the biblical idea of forbidden fruit. The perfume became available in 1985 in Europe and was a smash hit. And I found some stats from a New York Times article from 1987. In Paris in 1985, a bottle was sold every single minute. While at Harrods in London, in a 4-month period that Poison was sold, it sold more than any other perfume the entire year preceding. But Poison wouldn't become available in America until 1987, except at ultra-rich luxury parties. And when they did start selling in America, they kept it to a limited number of stores because they wanted to keep demand high and make it seem more exclusive. Dior also bought 500,000 peacock feathers to spray the perfume, because back in the day, they used to just spray you with perfume at department stores, but their research suggested that people didn't like that. They also bought 23 million scent strips that were placed in fashion magazines. With all that marketing, you didn't have a choice. Poison was destined to become a huge hit. What did it smell like? Tuberose, plum, cinnamon, labdanum. Since then, Dior has released several variations, including Hypnotic Poison, Midnight Poison, and most recently, Poison Girl. My closest perfume to the original formulation is my new one, Carmel, with berries and cinnamon.